Today's episode of the Cedric Phillips podcast is brought to you by the Firefly Funhouse, which is one of the only good things that's going on in wrestling right now. Joe and I talked about Bray Wyatt's new character. Joe, not terribly optimistic about the future of this character, while I'm trying to be. And then we also, we talked about various nonsense in Joe's YouTube channel recommendation of the week. But of course, we had to talk about the Money in the Bank pay-per-view that's coming up this weekend, and we did our little preview of that. It was actually a very large pay-per-view. Did not realize there were so many matches and so many pre-show matches. Hopefully this is good. From what we've read, the Money in the Bank is looking to actually make big stars out of the cash-ins like they used to in the past, as opposed to Baron Corbin losing to Jinder Mahal in 4 seconds. So going to be kind of fun to see who wins these and who ideally becomes the next world champion, both men and women. But obviously before that, we got to get to our friends over at Julevera, Julevera. I think they got a new track out that they released today, maybe? I'm going to put that on my podcast editor, put them on the spot, see if you can find that. You can find their music over on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, wherever else you get your tunes. JV's coming in, and then we're going to start with our good friend Bray Wyatt. Yowie wowie! All right, everybody. Welcome to another WWE episode of the Cedric A. Phillips podcast. I'm your host, Yowie Wowie, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And I'm joined by one of my favorite little fireflies, Joey Bags. How are ye?
Oh, man, let me tell you. It's been a long, long day of just a bunch of garbage, as usual.
Garbage? Why garbage?
I mean, if you will.
Are you drinking a milkshake right now?
No, I've gotten rid of the milkshake.
Did you drink it?
I drank about, maybe like a cup of it.
What was it? What kind?
A Five Guys peanut butter chocolate milkshake.
That strikes me as fine, but not great.
Solid B. Okay. Speaking of food, since we're going to start there anyway.
We're not going to start with Bray. We want to start with food?
I want to start with food. All
right, let's start with some nonsense. Get this party started.
All right, so tonight my wife went out to dinner with her friend, so I had fending for myself, and I was able to order whatever food I wanted for dinner.
Okay.
So I was able to, what is that noise in the background? It sounds like a bird.
There is a bird outside of my window. Yeah. It's
going, chirp, chirp, chirp.
There is a bird. I like how you can hear the bird better than I can hear the bird.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's amazing. And I was able to order whatever kind of food I wanted to tonight. You know, I didn't have to cater to my wife's tastes. And so I chose the food that she doesn't like, which is Indian.
Yeah, you're already off to a great start.
And it made me think, what kind of food is the best ethnic takeout food? And so I ordered 2 things from the Indian food place today. I ordered butter chicken because I always order butter chicken and it's delicious. And then I ordered something completely random that was vegetarian because I wanted to try it. And loyal listener of the podcast, Saran Ayapasamy, told me that all the best Indian food is vegetarian.
That is, so he would know better than I for obvious reasons. But yeah, that's super racist. But I think he's right, just straight up.
So, and the thing I got that was vegetarian was some sort of onion cauliflower thing in a curry.
That's game.
It was so fucking good.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I think Indian food has a case to be the best ethnic food.
Period, or for delivery?
For delivery / takeout, for not necessarily fast food, but quick takeout.
All right, challenge. First question. How much does the Indian food cost?
It wasn't super expensive, but it wasn't super cheap.
I have found here in Seattle, Washington, at least, that Indian food takeout is it's $16 for butter chicken.
Yeah, it was 13 here in Cleveland.
Yeah, you got to pay to play.
But I also feel like it's kind of worth it. I mean, what was the place that you got takeout from that it was just outrageously expensive? The dim sum place?
Din Tai Fung.
Yeah, and it was just like, here's 3 dumplings for $28 or whatever.
I mean, you're getting crushed by the DoorDash tax there. Sure.
I have Dash Pass, my friend.
Is that what is that?
You pay $10 a month and like you get free delivery for everything.
That's kind of gas, actually.
I mean, we definitely order enough.
Everything is just some fucking subscription now where they get you.
Well, yeah, because people never cancel anything. So, of course, that's true.
It's unreal. They just take advantage of how lazy and stupid we are.
Well, guess what? I'm lazy and stupid and fat.
Same.
So, all right. So, I want to think about what the best ethnic food takeout is and what the worst is.
All right. Well, I'm going to say the first place my mind went as far as ethnic takeout goes is Thai food.
Thai food is outstanding.
That's the first place I went. But that's also because I don't really... Weirdly, okay, Indian food to me is outrageously good 100% of the time, but I never think to order it, and it's kind of expensive, and I always just get chicken tikka masala or butter chicken or whatever,
right?
And I really should order more vegetarian dishes. That's why, like, for me, no debate on how good it is, but the value is so much in the Indian buffet because there's so much stuff out for you to try that you probably wouldn't order.
That's a good point. I very rarely get to go to an Indian buffet, but every time I've went, I've really liked it. Plus, I'm a huge fan of like samosas, and
good.
And I'm a huge fan of naan. So like, you mix that stuff in there, and you can have as much as you want. That's pretty nice. Plus, for some reason, for delivery, they're very stingy with rice, and I don't really understand why. It's like it's rice; it costs nothing. Come on. And then, but I will say this about Thai food. I've gone off board on Thai food many, many times just to try a bunch of different things. But I'll be honest, I still like pad Thai the best.
My preference is the drunken noodles. The thing I like about Thai food, outside of it being very good, is I think you get a lot for your money. And I'm very pro that when it comes to Thai food. However, I will say, here's the problem with Thai food. The scale, the rating on the hotness...
It's all over the place, folks.
It depends on the store.
And it's like a 3 at one store could be like fine, and another store it's like that's scalding, and you can't even like eat more than 3 bites of it.
So I normally, whenever I go to a Thai place, my default is I just go like the 1 star, just coward style, because I just don't know what I'm getting myself into. Which can be a little frustrating, but I also don't want it to be that hot. So, but that is a real hiccup with Thai food, because like if you call and they're like, "What's your starting 1 to 5?" It's like 2.5, not 2, I guess.
Like I usually just pick 2 and a 1 to 5 scale, just because like I've tried to go. I could eat 3 no problem, but like I'll have indigestion later. I tried 4 one time. That was too much.
You are a tough guy.
That was way too. Yeah, I wasn't a tough guy then. I was like sweating, and like just like my face was all red. It wasn't good. But here's my issue with Thai food by comparison. The reason why Indian food's expensive is what you get as far as like the main course is all high quality premium stuff. There's no filler. It's like meat and curry and like a sauce and stuff. And then with Thai food, a lot of times, a lot of the value you're getting is in like noodles.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So like, here's what I'm interested in. You said best and worst, which leads me to believe that you have a worst just queued up.
I'll be honest with you. For takeout purposes, I actually think Mexican food's kind of terrible. Like, and I know that's going to be a hot take because a lot of people love Mexican food, but it's every fucking Mexican restaurant is serving the same 10 things. And like that's why I love Indian food is it's like there are definitely differences between Northern Indian food and Southern Indian food, and there are places that are equivalent to that, like where they actually this is a Southern Indian place, this is a Northern Indian place. For Mexican takeout, it's the same enchiladas at every place, made the exact same way. And unless you're lucky to live somewhere with really good Mexican food, like Southern California or Texas or I guess like Florida, sort of, but you're going to end up with like this. It's like every place is called like El Rincon. Or Tres Portrios.
It's funny only because it's true.
Yeah, and it's just like, I mean, all right. Like
Alejandro's. There's Alejandro's in every city.
And I mean, like, is it edible? Absolutely. It's fine. But it's not, like, exciting, and I don't know. As soon as it starts to get a little bit cold, it usually doesn't taste very good. There's just a lot of issues I have with it.
Cold's not good.
What about you?
As far as worst?
Yeah.
Well, the reason I asked you is because I really wasn't sure. Your Mexican breakdown makes a lot of sense. And now it's just like I'm trying to rack my brain, like, what ethnic food do I eat?
Americanized Chinese food is pretty terrible, too.
Yeah, I don't ever order Chinese. I'll be honest. I legitimately never order Chinese. I couldn't tell you. My buddy is furious.
Yeah, he is. Funny because I can't even hear him, but, you know.
Yeah.
I can just hear a bird.
That's crazy. I never order Chinese food. And I know Chinese food's like very popular, but I literally could not tell you the last time I ordered Chinese food.
You probably could get you probably could get very good Chinese food in Seattle due to like the more authentic. I bet you there are more authentic places there for sure.
No, we get Japanese food.
Oh, okay.
Japanese food, and there's plenty of it.
I know there's a lot of Chinese immigrants in Vancouver, but I don't know about Seattle. So
yeah, there's a ton of Japanese people here. They all move from open teriyaki joints, and they're all super good. So I can't say that like Japanese food takeout is bad because it's just not. Okay, well,
Sakio or
the mall Japanese is nice. Here's the thing about ordering takeout Japanese food. Mostly, I order chicken teriyaki. Mm-hmm. The problem with it is you get a lot of rice, but I always feel like you don't get enough sauce.
Yeah, they are always short on the sauce.
And it's always much better when they plate it themselves for you and everything's kind of mixed and ready to go.
You mean not in the styrofoam container?
Correct, where it's like rice in the holes, protein in the big hole, and then like sauces on the side, but it's never enough sauce to cover everything.
Right, whereas if you do get it on the plate at the place, like they like mix it.
Yeah, and then it's good. So that might be my answer.
Wow.
That might literally be my answer.
All right, I could get behind that. I also just generally think that like burger joints that are not like fast food, like when I say burger joints, I'm talking about like Applebee's and that kind of crap. Okay, that's all terrible.
I'm not taking that stuff to go.
No, never.
No, never. Like curbside
Applebee's to go.
Get a life.
Get a life. Get a life.
Go find some happy hour to eat at. Or like just literally anywhere else but curbside Macaroni Grill or Red Lobster or something.
Oh, Macaroni Grill! I forgot about Macaroni Grill.
Macaroni Grill they have elite bread.
Did you work there?
No,
oh, okay.
No. They have elite bread, and everything else is bad.
Well, I have got some interesting news.
Yes. Uh-oh, we got.
I have our friend Steve Schneider is just randomly at my front door.
What?
Yep.
How do we proceed from here?
I think we'll probably have to record later.
Okay. All right, I'm saving this part, and then I can't wait to restart later tonight.
I mean, we're definitely keeping this part because this was gas.
Yeah, this is amazing. All right, fine. We will reconvene later tonight.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.
2 hours later.
All right, everybody, we're back. Joe had to go for various reasons. He's back now. Did we even talk? We didn't talk about Bray yet.
No, we talked about ethnic food.
Okay, great.
Perfect transition, and by perfect I mean very awkward transition. But it's time to just move on.
Yeah, let's do it because you got a life to live. You got to go to work in the morning. I'm sure. Is that true? You probably go to work on Friday, right?
5 a.m., dude, every day.
Gross. Okay. Firefly Funhouse, Bray Wyatt. What are our thoughts on this before we get to the card here for the? I keep wanting to call it Extreme Rules. It's Money in the Bank.
Backlash. Yeah. Wait, what was the one thing you called? You called Fastlane something absurd one, or you kept calling it Roadblock.
I think that's. I'm not great with the names.
No, you're not.
I am good with Stomping Grounds though, because that's a new one.
That's a great name,
and it's being held here in Seattle.
Are you gonna go?
Most likely, actually.
Are you gonna play a Wild Nakatl on turn 1? I'm
not gonna do that. I see what you did there for the Magic fans.
Big mistake. All right. I don't know what cards there are anymore, so I just picked one from when I played. So Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse. Here's the thing, and I'm not going to say this is bad, I promise, but I will say this: I have zero faith in the WWE. in their ability to follow through on this. Even still, like, you could tell like this was done by like Bray himself was very involved in this, and that everything I've heard is that's true.
Yep, that's what's been reported.
And also, like, they had like some sort of guy who works in like horror films, like working on these things with him, so that they could make them look really good. And I thought they did a great job. But I have two concerns. One, WWE never knows what to do with Bray Wyatt once they get him like actually out in front of the live audience, as we all know. And two, if he hasn't changed up his wrestling style, I think there's going to be a problem. Like, he can't be busting out the spider walk.
We'll get a new moveset out there.
Okay.
Right?
I'm not even sure he should be doing Sister Abigail anymore.
Well, I don't know if he can. Well, it's unclear because I know one of the characters is named Abigail.
Yeah, right.
So maybe they still reference Abigail in some way.
You know what Mercy the Buzzard is from?
Follow the Buzzards.
No, it's partially, but the reason why it's Mercy is because Waylon Mercy was the character that Bray Wyatt is based off of.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Thought that was kind of neat. Overall, like especially the last episode, the one with the kids in it was only okay, but the way he was able to still say "yowie wowie" and make it be real creepy was awesome.
For some reason, I find the first time he said "yowie wowie" because I didn't know what was going on with the gimmick, I was like, okay, and now I think it's hilarious.
I do too. I think it's really funny.
Wait for the "yowie wowie" shirts because they're coming.
They're for sure, dude. The shirts WWE's putting out right now are so bad.
I'm going to go to the shop right now because they must be bad. Just take a look.
They're all like the same generic, really bad shirts. And then there's like a bunch of American ones that they just made. Okay,
so I thought those American ones were a troll, and I guess those are actually real.
Nah, they're not a troll.
Okay.
I mean, truthfully, what is more American than a racist old white dude?
Look, they're doing up to 40% off apparel right now. Up to 40% off t-shirts, 30% off sweatshirts, 20% off of jackets. That's and actually, that's amazing. That's amazing. Who do you think is in the jacket picture?
I hope it's Noam Dar, but I bet you it's Finn Balor.
It's Finn Balor, obviously.
Well, he's very good at jackets. Everyone knows it.
20%. Oh, wow. Look at, oh, boy. These are, it's not even, I mean, these are Memorial Day shirts because it's not close to July 4th.
Also, who makes Memorial Day shirts?
These are tough to look at. I thought these were a troll. These are actually real. Oof.
Also, WWE does this thing where they do the thing that Kohl's does, where everything's always on sale. So,
yeah.
But like that, but the sale price is not a good. It's like the same thing you'd expect to pay retail price.
So this Hogan shirt.
Oh yeah, that one is.
Okay.
I feel like we should. I feel like I should buy that for you.
Yeah, so what you gonna do, brother? Get it? I'm a brother. Enough. I'm gonna just put this out there because again, we haven't recorded in like 2 weeks. First of all, AJ Styles' new shirt, never rest, never rust.
What does that mean?
That makes no sense.
As soon as I saw that him wearing it, I'm like, I'm gonna have to ask Seth if that means something because I don't know what it means.
That makes no sense. Then Ali's shirt, Chase the Light. I don't know who's buying that.
Jimmy Eat World or
that's a great song by Jimmy Eat World. Chase the Light with me. And then, of course, Last Stand for the Shield. Enough Shield stuff. I actually solely blame this on you. Calling for the Shield to reunite so many times over the past 7 years. They've done it more times than you've called for it.
I just want to know one thing. Do you still think Dean Ambrose is a work?
He'll be back.
Or perhaps the 12:05 a.m. promo with his real name.
Yeah.
Maybe that should have been a hint that it was not a work.
Do you think he's going to A-Dub?
No, I don't. I think
he's going to go.
So here's the thing. I think he wasn't going to, but apparently they offered him $6 million a year.
Jesus.
Or yeah, so
what?
Yeah, or they offered him $6 million for 3. It's an insane amount. They offered him. It's a $6 million contract. I don't know the length of it, but they offered him a ton of money, so now he might go.
Well, given the amount of money that like is being offered around right now, like, did you see what they offered Leo Rush?
Did you see what they offered the Revival?
Yeah, and it's just like, I mean, these guys are good, but I mean,
they're not, but they're not. They don't move the needle. I would say Jon Moxley moves the needle.
I would say Dean Ambrose moves the needle for sure.
Like outside of CM Punk, who else would they get that really moves the needle? Like what WWE? Who could be the guy that like, oh my God, they got X from the WWE. Like
guys that would realistically move.
Dolph Ziggler. I mean, Dean's a way bigger deal than Dolph Ziggler, right?
Who gives a shit about Dolph Ziggler, man?
All right, that's not nice.
This is the wrong podcast for Dolph Ziggler barning.
Dolph Ziggler stan.
Yeah, no. Like if we're talking about people who are like kind of free agenty who are probably moving, I think that Dean Ambrose / Jon Moxley, and I'll actually start calling him Jon Moxley because I think he would play a completely different character.
Same.
That's real.
I think that moves the needle. I think Sasha Banks moves the needle too, for what it's worth.
Here's why I think that AEW is going to be successful. I think people are just clamoring for something different.
Yes, and they have the money.
And it doesn't even really matter what it is or how good it is.
It just can't be what WWE, the tripe that they're putting out there week after week.
Like I think that once AEW goes live, the first thing, so they're on TNT, they got this deal. Can they swear?
I'm sure, yes.
That's like a big thing for me. It's like, can they be edgy? Will there be blood? Can they swear type stuff? Because if they can be that alternate product that is actually just
not TNA,
I don't know, for older people, I guess I would say
for people that have been wrestling fans, not just sports entertainment fans.
Yeah, I think I think they do really well with that. Ooh, I have a question for you that I've been thinking about for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So Britt Baker is Adam Cole's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And she's like the main woman that they have signed.
One of them, yes.
Yeah, but she's like probably the most notable, I think. Or at least it seems like they're building the brand, the women's division around her.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Adam Cole moves, or do you think he's just hanging in WWE?
No, he's going to be getting a very large push soon. So
okay, because I don't think he's going to move either. But does he want to be in the same place where his girlfriend, maybe wife, who knows what happens with their relationship would be?
I'm going to give you my Adam Cole booking real fast because I actually think it's genius. I don't know if I already told you this or not, but I definitely haven't said it on the podcast.
I know that we had brief discussions about you thinking they were going to turf him and Roddy was going to take over, but I don't think you think that anymore.
No, what I think is going to actually happen is I still think they're going to turf him, but I think Matt Riddle's going to take over. I think they're going to the new version of the Undisputed Era version 2.0 is going to be led by Matt Riddle. With the rest of the same guys, Matt Riddle will be the NXT champion pretty soon. Like I would not be surprised if the Cole Gargano match ended with Undisputed Era interference. Matt Riddle comes out to equalize, and then they just beat the tar out of both the guys.
Is he a heel or a face?
Heel for sure. Adam Cole will be a face.
Can Riddle be a heel?
Absolutely, yes, dude. He's easy to hate. He's perfect.
He is pretty good looking.
He's right, and like he is very aloof. So like he's easy to hate, like in a way that he doesn't really come off as cool. He just comes across as kind of a dick. So
could he be like? Are you saying like he's heel? Remember when Bo Dallas was like giving people cookies and stuff and being an aloof doofus?
More aloof, like even less interested in what's happening around him.
Okay.
And so here's the thing. Here's why they book it this way. NXT has generally been very logically booked, and Adam Cole is definitely getting like the first or second hottest reactions on the show, depending on Velveteen Dream and I guess Gargano too.
Okay.
So it definitely makes sense to like strike while the iron's pretty hot there, turn Cole face. Don't really change his character at all. He's just now like trying to be like avenging like the Undisputed Era turfing him. And then what this sets up is, so I think the now marquee show for the year for NXT is actually War Games.
Okay.
And so leading into War Games, you have this Undisputed Era with all the belts, which is what I would 100% just move all the belts onto them. So that gives you Cole and Gargano are up against Riddle, basically. Roddy takes the belt from the Velveteen Dream, okay. Right?
Yep.
So that leaves. So you got three guys on the team on the face side, and you have the Undisputed Era as the heels. And apparently Tommaso Ciampa is actually Wolverine, so he's your fourth guy. And for the huge pop when he comes back.
as a face.
And there's your War Games.
Look at you booking away here.
But like, I think that I don't even think that's a hard thread to follow. Like, I think that's just easily what they should do.
I don't think it's hard to follow if like Triple H is booking it because he's so good at booking things.
Right. I mean, the reason why Raw and SmackDown are so bad is because those people are all writing for one person and one person only, and that person is 70 years old and completely out of touch.
Did you see that there was the report that Triple H is super frustrated with Vince right now?
Well, duh.
Yeah.
He spent all this time building up these guys, and as soon as they get to the main roster, they get dunked on because Vince
become nothing.
They become poets who sit in the back in the smoky room and talk and tell tales, or they just job to Robert Roode for no reason, or who the fuck did Ricochet job to this week? It was something real bad.
Drew, I think. No, it wasn't Drew.
No, it wasn't Drew. It was somebody. Oh, it was BC. Yeah, he jobbed.
That's not bad at all.
He jobbed cleanly to BC.
Oh, that's par for the course, baby. We're talking soon to be Universal Champion Baron Corbin.
So before we get into Money in the Bank, I want to talk about I want to talk about Raw and SmackDown and what they can do to fix this, because I think this AEW thing is going to either force a wake up call or the business is going to change a lot. Like either they're going to lose their monopoly or they're going to have to adapt. Because I don't think they can continue on the way they are, the way they're going. Everyone's just like, well, they got the TV deals. Both of those companies were looking for ways out already.
Yeah, Fox is asking them to like move certain people around, and they had to do the wild card rule, which is
we'll get to that,
which is quite literally the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
I think it might be the dumbest thing I've seen in wrestling, and I've seen Katie Vick.
Yeah. It's really that bad. And
there's like no rhyme or reason to it at all. Like week to week, it's like 3 people can come over. All right. Middle of the same show, they're like, all right, make it 4. And now it's like they've gone over that every single show already since then.
Yeah. It's like the announcers are just like, there's a third person. And it's like, well, actually, if anyone can count, it's actually been more than 3. Also, this is really hard for the announcers to keep up with. Also, that's not exciting.
Yeah, also, they started Raw and SmackDown with the exact same segment this week.
They do that every week.
Except for though they're supposed to be 2 separate shows with different rosters. They started both shows with The Miz and Roman Reigns in the ring, cutting double face promos.
The Miz face turn is working.
Oh, the Miz face turn's fine, yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy.
So, all right. So here's what I'm looking at for WWE right now, just to quickly go through some of the things that. In order to fix things, I think they really just need to do a total revamp. They have way too many people on the rosters.
Yeah, of course they do.
Way, 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 way too many. And so that means that guys don't really get a chance to shine because they're constantly booking them in the same... Like, they get tired of guys and they just book them to win and lose. Nobody cares about anything. There's no consequences to any matches.
No, none of them matter.
Okay, so problem number 1. The matches are too long on Raw. I know that that's a weird thing to complain about, but the matches are too long. There doesn't need to be matches with 3 commercial breaks in the first hour of Raw. Like, look, I think you save long 10-minute plus matches for either the main event of the show or pay-per-views. That's it. Everything else should be shorter matches and mostly telling stories. People watch this for a story, to be entertained. They don't need to watch it so that they can see 4-minute-long chin locks. And heaven forbid if you're in the live crowd and you have to listen to someone's music play for 15 minutes while a video package plays, or you have to watch Baron Corbin in a chin lock and you know it's that commercial and they're just going to sit in the chin lock the entire time. And that's not fun for anybody. Like, the show still needs to be fun to watch. Whether or not it's what we like or not is irrelevant. If it's no longer fun, there's a problem. And it's not fun.
So hold on. I have a brief rebuttal here.
Mm-hmm.
It's minor, but I believe that Baron Corbin doing chin locks is fun.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Okay.
All right. So then, like, I don't expect WWE to be New Japan, where like they treat it like a sport. I don't really want it to be a sport. I want it to be an entertainment show, which I'm fine with that. But the quality of entertainment that they're giving us is so terrible. The stuff with the Usos and the Revival is insulting.
It's not my favorite.
Usi hot.
Okay, so here's what I'll say, Usihat. Here's what I'll say about all of the stuff they're doing with the revival. It's only in play because it's a PG show.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, so to me, this is, I don't even think this is them embarrassing the revival. I don't. You know, like they came out with that report and all this other stuff. I actually don't think they're doing that at all.
No, I don't think this is like to show the revival who's boss. I just think it's just like classic terrible WWE writing.
Yeah, I think they're just like, hey, the revival, we need to see some personality from you guys because we don't ever see any personality from you guys. So like, let's see if you're able to do this type of thing. And like, I actually think they do it totally fine. I would say that Scott Dawson does it much better than Dash Wilder does.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I think Scott Dawson is just all in to do
he leans in.
Awesome.
He
just leans into everything, and okay, that's great. And then like when the bullshit is over and it's time for him to have a 17-minute match, it's going to be really really good. But I will agree with you. I think that some of this stuff is stupid.
All right, how many times are we going to see this? How many TV shows, like little segment TV shows, do they have going in the company right now?
So we're talking about like the KO show?
Yeah, and Ms. TV and all the other random nonsense. The Big Dog's House or whatever the fuck's going on with that.
I don't know how many they have.
The Long Island Shore House. I mean, like, why does everything have to be a fucking segment? And why is it always in the ring? Like, you know what made the barbershop special or what made the funeral parlor special or Brother Love show? They weren't in the ring.
The moment of bliss is not in the ring.
It's on the fucking aisle.
I mean, it's not in the back. I understand.
It's literally just on the aisle.
You know what I'm going to give TNA a little credit here. You know what I liked about TNA over the past like handful of years is they took like this reality TV approach where they had like the cameraman walking with them in the back.
I prefer that. I would much rather have that than what the other thing that WWE is doing that like is along those same lines that I don't like is like these selfie promos where like the person's like holding a camera and it'll like they show like their title card with their name on it. It'll be like Carmella and then like with her logo and then it just like cuts to her like holding a camera like on a selfie stick cutting a promo. It's terrible.
It's not great. It's not my favorite. It could definitely be better. I'll say that.
So all of that stuff is stuff we've talked about before. And the other thing that we've harped on relentlessly, but I think we can't harp on it enough, is just how absolutely atrocious the announcing is.
It's at this point, so I try to be positive about the announcing as best I can. It's unbearably bad now,
especially on Raw. Like on SmackDown, I think currently Byron Saxton is actually the best announcer.
Well, there's just no two ways about it. Like, Corey Graves is not bad. He's just overexposed because he's doing both shows.
Right. Renee's terrible.
Renee is so bad. It's really painful to say. She's horrible.
All right. So
not Beth Phoenix bad.
Dude, can you believe Showtime Percy Watson just pieced out?
Do you want my honest answer?
He was getting better.
Yeah, and?
Now we have Beth Phoenix. How do you feel about that?
Beth Phoenix's first episode was not particularly good. Percy Watson was getting like a little better, but not much. But like it wasn't embarrassing anymore. But I think he like the reports are he just left because he wanted to pursue something else in life. And that's fine. Also, he might just be like, yo, this place kind of sucks.
Yeah, you might be right. So here's what I'll say about let's go through the announcers real fast. All right, Byron. I'm going to start with the person I think that does the best job, Byron, and I'll tell you why. He's out there to be the face announcer.
That's his thing.
And he embraces it. He defends the faces. He goes against the heels. He has a naivete about him that's just like where he, the faces pretty much can do no wrong. The heels can pretty much do no right. He doesn't like dastardly tactics, even if a face does them, though, which I think is good. He shows genuine enthusiasm for the guys that he likes and genuine disdain for the guys that he doesn't. So I think he does a great job because he's consistent. Tom Phillips is about as average as it gets as a play-by-play man, but he does fine. He's fine.
Tom is totally fine. He's inoffensive. My favorite part about Tom is when Corey says something that's really funny and you can tell Tom is laughing.
Yeah, he's like corpsing, basically.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about Tom.
So Corey Graves on SmackDown, I find him okay. Mainly because he has a person to play off of that is very consistent in the way that they are acting. So he can just, go after Byron or whatever and it be a little bit more funny. But it is just too much Corey Graves to have him on both shows.
It's just too much. It's being overexposed. This is classic. I mean, I call this classic WWE because they just do a lot of overexposing of talent. Sometimes, like, Becky on both shows, Becky Two Belts, she's just everywhere now.
And getting a promo on every show.
Yeah, she's literally everywhere. And it's like, hey, I'm all for striking while the iron's hot, but like, balance is also pretty good in life. You can't just eat the same thing every fucking day, otherwise you get tired of eating the same fucking thing every day, no matter how good it is. Like, how about I'm really looking forward to the Becky segment instead of I know the Becky segment is coming. Have we considered that maybe, my favorite thing about the Daniel Bryan run a couple of years ago? Sometimes he just wasn't on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes Triple H just murked them, and it's like, Daniel Bryan is not here tonight, but he'll be here like next week or some other week, instead of like Becky Lynch is here Monday and Tuesday, and on like the recaps of Derek's other shows. Yeah. Like, it's okay to just, hey, you know what, you're not there, and leave the people wanting more.
Right. They've completely forgot how to do that. And then, all right, Corey Graves on Raw, the reason why he's so bad is he and Renee have horrible chemistry, but also Corey Graves decides that he wants to flip back and forth between, like, he decides like some heels he hates and some heels he likes. So he doesn't have a consistent perspective. It's like
he just mixes it up at random.
Right. Like when Elias acts like a dick or whatever, he's like, I hate Elias. But like when, I don't know, Drew McIntyre does the same thing, he'll be like, Drew McIntyre's gas.
Yeah, he just randomly hates Elias, who is a heel, but he's the heel commentator.
Makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Then that forces the face commentator, whoever it is, Renee or Byron, to be like, oh, it's not that bad. Because no one could ever agree. Like they're never allowed to just score points on each other. They always have to just come back with like some sort of witty rejoinder. And you know what? We don't need it. We don't need it. Just like, it's okay for the face commentator to not have something to say every single time. And same thing for the heel commentator. Like sometimes the person that they would normally be defending, they don't agree with. That's fine. It's okay. Like, let people score points every once in a while instead of just like screaming at each other indiscriminately, because it's horrible.
It's really bad. Yeah.
And then Michael Cole, the final person. I've been doing some thinking about Michael Cole lately, and I actually think that Michael Cole's like signature calls that we make fun of all the time, mainly it's boss time and it's the big dog, would actually be very good calls if he didn't say them every single time the person appeared.
Yes, if he didn't say them every single time, so I know that they are coming every time, it'd be cool. Or if they were actually good calls that I look forward to hearing. So, and what I mean by that very quickly is like when you got excited to hear Stone Cold Steve Austin say, and that's the bottom line. Or when you were very excited for like the whats or the yeses. Michael Cole, I don't know if a commentator can have catchphrases that you look forward to hearing.
JR had some, but
you're totally right.
But he would mix them in, Yeah. Like the other thing is, I would be fine with him even doing the branded call if he saved it for big matches. Like if Roman Reigns is coming out at WrestleMania and you want to like punctuate the moment with "it's the big dog," if you didn't do it for if you did it only on occasion for the last year, it would feel like something. It would feel relevant. Or it's boss time, like when it actually is boss time, instead of it's boss time because we're going to cut a promo from the ramp.
Because it's 9:30 on a Monday, which you know what time it is.
It's boss time.
It's boss time.
And like, you don't need and the other thing that I hate about what's going on in the WWE is the over branding of every single guy is getting to the point of it's crazy now. Like people like Bobby Lashley don't need a nickname. They don't.
Oh yeah, I know you're very tired of this.
Like they don't need to have a nickname, and then because then it's so dumb to just he doesn't call himself the almighty Bobby Lashley. No one you guys just made that up. You just made that up.
He doesn't. I mean, his nickname doesn't make. His nickname does and doesn't make any sense. It is just kind of annoying that it's a thing that they just get to do and say. And it's like, all right, here comes the almighty Bobby Lashley. Also, that doesn't work very well when Leo Rush is going to get fired.
Also, why like when Bobby Lashley was on Miz TV and he was like just like dogging on the Miz because his dad's a weirdo? It's like, why are they feuding about that? Shouldn't they be feuding about the fact they both want to be champion and they both are like, and the Miz has been on a winning streak and Bobby Lashley he thinks if he beats the Miz, he can get, move up the rankings. Like, shouldn't that be what they're going for?
Well, My counterpoint to this is bashing on the Miz's dad is kind of fun.
No, that's fine if it was part of the feud, but don't feud just about that.
Sure. Okay.
Like to me, if you want the belt, like if you want people to care about the characters on the show, give them motivation and give them something to fight for. So in the case of like the Miz and Bobby Lashley, right? The Miz has been kind of on a roll or whatever, and he's got a lot of forward momentum, and Bobby Lashley's been losing some matches, and they both want to, like, everyone should want all the belts all the time. That should never not be the focus unless you're in like a blood feud.
Sure.
And that means every title shot should seem special, which means stop defending the belts worthlessly on Raw and SmackDown. Maybe have one title match every couple weeks, of different titles, and have matches between contenders instead of having the champion get pinned in a non-title match, because that's dumb.
That's their favorite trope.
It's the worst trope. I don't understand why they're so in love with it. It's like you could easily just go from point A to point B to point C, but they're just refusing to do point B ever.
But then you get Michael Cole's true signature call, which is X just pinned the champion,
which is the worst.
Yeah, that's his true signature call.
So that makes the champions look like jobbers. It makes it look like the fights for those any other match that doesn't involve the champion is a waste of time, because it's not going to earn you anything.
Are you saying that the Iconics look like total jobbers?
Yes, I am saying that the Iconics have they won a single match since WrestleMania?
I don't know. They beat like some jobbers at one point. They did do that.
Oh yeah, they beat actual jobbers.
They beat literal jobbers, but have they beaten like a real team or anything? No, they have not. Which segues me beautifully into your thoughts on the Kabuki Warriors.
Mm-mm. Although, I mean that name is like vaguely is actually kind of racist sounding.
I think they chose it, though.
But they did choose it, exactly. So hard to say that. I also just don't feel the chemistry between the two workers, even though they're both amazing. It just feels like two singles wrestlers were like wrestling together, and why is Paige with them? Nobody knows.
So I don't know why Paige is with them outside of probably, just being on TV and fulfilling her contractual obligations, whatever. I will agree with you for now that they don't really have a lot of chemistry. But what I will say is, like, Cesaro and Sheamus did not have a lot of chemistry at the start, and they worked into it and actually worked into a gimmick instead of just being Cesaro and Sheamus.
True.
So maybe that happens here.
It could. And I'd be fine with that. Like, I'm not going to shade on it too much because I do like both people in the team, and I think that, like, they could end up becoming a great team. But speaking of people that their characters are a mystery, here's what I want to know.
I can't wait to hear this.
What is Lars Sullivan supposed to be?
Besides horribly racist?
Well, yeah, that, and racist and sexist and definitely transphobic. But,
all of it. So
he's just an ugly, angry man, right? But why? Like, why is he the way he is? Can someone tell me?
I can answer that.
Go ahead.
Do you want to know why? I can tell you why right now.
Tell me.
You're in his territory.
That's a secret.
This is Lars Sullivan territory, and people are in it, and they should not be in it. That would make me mad. What if someone was just in your home right now that shouldn't be there?
I mean,
would you powerbomb them?
So the
answer is yes, you would. You would powerbomb someone if they were on your couch right now.
So my question is this: why is he going after R-Truth? Why is he going after Jeff Hardy? Unless they're going to turn this racism, sexism, trans stuff into an angle.
The R-Truth one's real easy.
Unless they're going to turn Jeff Hardy too, because like he's been like a symbol of like the gay community for like years.
Yeah, this is, why did he go after the Lucha House Party? All easy questions to answer.
I mean, if they want to play that as an angle, fine, I guess. I mean,
they're never going to do that.
But if they're not, then what is the point? What is Lars Sullivan? And this is not even bagging on just Lars Sullivan. Why should I care? It's the same reason what you said about Kushida, basically, except for that they're treating this guy's like rampaging through the main roster.
Well, the goal here was to have some sort of enormous push for him because, unsurprisingly, Vince is just a huge fan,
Shocking.
Which is no surprise. I don't know, because this is what they do with large people. They just try to establish them Like, right? Like, I don't know if they did something similar with Braun. I remember like the Braun Invitational matches where Ellsworth and various other people got murked, but I don't remember if Braun was also just murking random like people at the top of the card.
His first feud was Sami Zayn, remember? Like, the whole point was the reason why he started fighting against other people is he wanted more competition.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That makes sense, actually. Yeah. Whereas with what they're doing with Lars is just like, all right, attack you.
Why?
All right, attack you too.
Why'd he beat up Chad Gable? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
And here's another one. This is another. We're gonna get to Money in the Bank, I promise. But what's with Sami Zayn? And I don't mean these promos are not good, because they are good. But why is he like this? Other than his reason is vacation's better, I guess. Because
while he was away, he saw how people were viewing the WWE universe, and he felt that it was very toxic because everyone's so negative, which I actually kind of weirdly agree with.
Yeah, that's the whole problem, right? Like, why wouldn't you agree with it? So then you're stuck in a feedback loop of you agree with him because people are too negative, but he hates the fans.
Oh, I didn't say there was any depth to the character.
Okay, so I just don't get it. And then my final big complaint of recent times is it's one that we've talked about before, but it's becoming very, very, very obvious. And it's the promos being pre-written for people that do not need to have their promos pre-written for them. And I'm talking about Roman Reigns does not need pre-written promos. The Iconics do not need pre-written promos. The Miz does not need a pre-written promo. Like, let these people just talk. For God's sake. They're not going to start just randomly swearing on live TV, I promise.
You know, out of, like, the people who are at the top of the card who I think don't have pre-written promos, like, if I had to guess one person right now who just gets to go out there and say whatever they want to say, and there are other people, obviously, like I'm sure Seth does and some other people, it's very clear Kevin Owens gets just to do his thing.
Yeah, he just gets to riff.
Because, like, he's so good on the mic, it's just like, yeah, just, you know, go continue selling this feud. And I feel like it's been that way for a really long time. And, you know, obviously, like, there are some people, like, when they come back, like Jericho, where it's like, get the fuck away from me. You're not writing my promo, you know? But I don't disagree with you. It would be nice if things felt a little more organic and less scripted and people just got to say things. Or it's just like, I don't know. It doesn't, like, I'm not saying we need another CM Punk pipe bomb moment, but it would be nice if someone cut a promo where I'm like, shit, that was actually, like, kind of cool. And the only person I ever think of that's done that in a very long time is just like The Miz when he was cutting promos about like, it was like on Shane when they were feuding, I think getting ready for WrestleMania, or like when The Miz was cutting promos on Cena, you know, stuff like that. He's the last person I can think of where it's like, oh man, like you said something where I'm like, shit, that was actually kind of fun and cool and edgy and hip. Whereas everyone else's promos outside of like Owens mostly are just kind of boring. Like I love Seth. I think his promos are just like fucking boring.
They're all the same.
Love the fans, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I come to work every week. Okay, I go to work every day. Congratulations.
Yeah, no one gives a shit. I'd rather be Brock Lesnar.
And you know what?
I'd rather work sometimes.
I think it's time to move to Money in the Bank, but I think before we do that, I think it's time for an ad break.
Okay. All right, Joe queued me up for a break here, so I'm going to do a little bit of shilling. This weekend, Star City Games and the SCG Tour are headed to Syracuse, New York, the heart of New York, for SCG Syracuse. It is a standard open that's going to be covered by, let's see, Matthias Hunt, Emma Handy, Ryan Overturf, Todd Anderson, Nick Miller, and the rest of the SCG Tour crew. Ryan Overturf, who will probably not listen to this, we are engaging in a blood feud recently on Twitter that he is for sure to lose. You can watch all of it, if you can't make it, over at twitch.tv/SCG Tour. 15 rounds of standard action. Going to crown ourselves a champion. Going to have what I imagine to be some very relevant shifts on the SCG Tour leaderboard as players are getting one step closer to qualifying for the Players' Championship. And then, next weekend, we head over to Louisville, where I'll be with Patrick Sullivan, Jerry Thompson, Brian Gottlieb, of course Nick Miller, and the rest of the crew for a Modern Open as well. So, twitch.tv/SCG Tour is the place to be. StarCityGames.com is the place to get all your Magic content, because if you don't, I won't have a job anymore, and then I can't do these in my spare time. So, just think about that before you begin listening to the podcast right now. looks like Joey Bags is calling the shots now. This is your is that your first dive into bag stocks? Calling for ad breaks?
Dude, I actually briefly considered just recording bag stocks on my own and then just sending it to you so you'd have something to put up if like we couldn't record. But we were able to record, so we're good.
You should do seriously, I think you should just do like a 20-minute bags talks. You should see what it's like to try to record by yourself, like Cowherd
It's so
style.
hard.
It's super difficult, but
so
you should
hard.
do it. It's a good experiment, and it's a good learning experience. That's what I'll say.
Fair enough.
All right.
You know what else is a good learning experience?
What's that?
Arya Davari push.
Yeah. So I'm on my favorite website here, cbssports.com. Nothing auto started here. They've got the Money in the Bank card here, and we're going to start with Cruiserweight Champion because 205 Live is never allowed on the main show.
I do have the odds, by the way.
Beautiful. Tony Nese versus Arya Davari. This is boring versus more boring.
Also, is Tony Nese supposed to be a face?
I don't. So I told you when we started recording that I was going to go in on Tony Nese because like I kind of like Tony Nese, but Tony Nese is definitely a heel, and he's boring as shit right now. And also, look, the running Nese is a horrible name for a move, and it's not a good finishing move either.
I don't know why they decided he does like a pretty sick shooting star press, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's a cruiserweight. He can do all sorts of things. He's very, very athletic and is very strong and all these things. And instead, it's like a running knee. But when it would be like the broski boot getting a pin, and it's like yes, so no,
right? And or like when Andrade used to use the double knees as a finisher.
Like, how does this move get the pin? But then, and pardon me being incorrect here, Rowe, which his name now is
I believe he's Eric.
I believe he's Eric. Of the Viking War Raider guys, fellas. Experience, yeah. His person goes over his shoulder onto their knees, and he does like this gigantic knee and screams in your face. He doesn't even pin after that.
No, he doesn't.
That's just a transition move, and that's better than the running Nese. I am just, I'm pretty over Tony Nese. I miss the Murph Dog Millionaire, who I don't think Murph Dog got like a return match, a rematch.
No, he's on He's on SmackDown now.
Is he? Is he on SmackDown?
He's on SmackDown the same way Liv Morgan's on SmackDown.
Yeah, is he on SmackDown? And then Arya Davari. Look, we could have given this to anybody.
Why? What are we doing?
This guy?
Has he ever been good?
This is believable. I'm sure Arya Davari is going to win this match. Can you imagine the champion is Arya Davari?
Do you know what the odds are on this bad boy?
Oh boy,
Nese is a 1-5 favorite. Like Tony Nese hasn't been a 1-5 favorite at being Tony Nese. He's a 1-5 favorite to defeat Arya Davari. He's the biggest favorite on the whole card.
Yeah, of course. There's no way they're letting this dude win. There's no way. So. My goodness. 205.
I'm sorry, he's a 1-9 favorite.
Even better. Congratulations, Tony Nese. Get him a little shine and get this fucking belt off of him. This being on the pre-show is a little embarrassing. Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus the Usos. Yeah,
considering that like Daniel Bryan was world champ a month ago.
And the Usos are one of the best acts in the company and are going to be Hall of Famers. And I know that they always kind of find themselves in the pre-shows, whether it's against like the New Day or something like that. And I guess the thought process is, this strikes me more as a test of anything, right? Is like, hey, Daniel Bryan, you're very popular. Do you think you can draw people to the pre-show? But why?
Here's my question. Why are the Usos fighting for the SmackDown tag titles? They're on Raw.
Wild card!
Oh, what happens if they win?
Wild card!
Does wild card? They have to wild card every week.
We need a wild card theme or something. Nothing makes sense. It's whose line it is anyway.
Born to be wild card.
Yeah, this is just dumb. I don't know. I mean, the match should be fine. It is humorous to me that Rowan got the dub to keep them with the titles with the
claw slam.
Yeah, the claw slam or whatever it is. Good for Eric Rowan.
Dude, apparently on the European tour they were just on, Rowan was mega over.
I mean, I think Rowan has a good look.
And don't look now, but I think he's improving.
My favorite thing about like all this is like his former partner Luke Harper banned.
Yeah, plus banned. Meanwhile, Rowan, who is clearly like the lesser of those two guys by a significant margin, but now he gets to like work with Daniel Bryan every night.
Yeah, Luke Harper was like, he's an outrageously good wrestler. He never got to cut promos in the WWE, so I don't know. But I've heard he's like a really good promo. And banned.
Because you can't do a Southern accent.
Yeah, Vince, for people who don't know, Vince actually wrote Luke Harper a letter and was just like, I don't like your work. We're extending your contract, and you don't get to work on TV. Banned.
Because you can't do a Southern accent. That's real.
That's right. Banned. Kindly leave. Who do you think's winning this match?
There's no chance that Daniel Bryan and Rowan lose.
Okay, I'm with you on that one, actually. So let's go to the United States Championship. Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. Joe's the champ. Mysterio is challenging, and there's the third wheel there in Dominic that they keep running out there.
Never doubt the impact of Dominic.
Yeah, Samoa Joe is winning because it would be very stupid if he didn't. Because Rey Mysterio should not have a belt. Yeah, right? Like
Rey Mysterio doesn't need a belt. Samoa Joe does, and he's trying to make that belt mean something, so he needs to keep it.
Samoa Joe should just lay on him.
It's what he did at WrestleMania.
Just lay on him, and that's game. I hope it's another beatdown like WrestleMania. Like I actually was, even though Rey was like kind of injured at WrestleMania, I loved that match. It was just like, yeah, why the fuck would you win?
I hope it's another beatdown, and then Dominic comes in to save Rey Mysterio, but then just joins Samoa Joe.
That would work for me. Yeah. Also, my final thing here. Look, I know it's wrestling and it's make believe and everything else. It is getting harder and harder to watch people just trip and fall on the ropes and lay there for a while for the 619. It's just getting tougher and tougher as I get older and older. Of just Rey Mysterio, Hurricane Rana, damn on the ropes. I can't move. Oh, come on and hit your move. All right, 619 conveniently placed into the drop zone for the splash. That shouldn't pin anyone because he's 120 pounds.
Yeah, that splash is more embarrassing to me than the 619.
It's just a lot at this stage of my life. I know it's great for the kids and their audience. It's just a lot for me. That's all I'm going to say.
Like, if they really wanted 205 Live to succeed, what if they just put Rey Mysterio on there?
It wouldn't hurt.
I mean, I'm sure more people would watch it, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. Here's a match I don't give a flying fuck about. Roman Reigns versus Elias.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, Elias, what would you say you do here?
Roman, remember when Roman brought the wrong shoes to the show that one time?
Yeah, I was thinking about that recently when he had to wear like his penny loafers.
Yeah, which given all, it's funny, right? Because given like all that Roman's been through, and then when you see like the interviews, it's like obviously he's like a pretty chill guy, and I bet that was a really funny moment in the back where it's like, I lost my boots, got to wrestle in tennis shoes, whatever.
Also, he probably like had to have like chemo that day or something, and he's like, it's like, I forgot my boots. It's like, Roman, you're so stupid, and it's like, yeah, well, I'm not going to tell you guys why I forgot my boots, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it was funny when it happened, but the point I'm trying to make is he better have his working boots on here, because I'm starting to agree with you about Elias's in-ring work is it's going to be a no. Drift away isn't even a good finisher.
It's not. I was just thinking those same exact words.
Not even a good move. Can you imagine Roman just drift away?
He just drifts away for the loss. Yeah.
Yeah. He loses. It's like, I don't ever see that happening.
No, dude. Like again, I mean, even if there is tomfoolery in this, I just don't see Roman losing. Also, is Roman just going to be on every show? Yes.
Yes. Because they, I think, are under the belief that Roman is some sort of huge draw, and maybe he is. I don't see it, but
I mean, I don't think he's a non-draw, but I think overexposing him is not a good idea.
Well, overexposing everyone's not a good idea. Also, it's funny, right? The Superstar Shakeup, he's like, SmackDown's my yard now, and it's like, okay, actually, I'm kind of here for this.
Yeah, same.
It's nice to see Roman not be on Raw, and that's over.
Speaking of overexposed, here comes the money. Please no. Here comes the money. Dude, he was also in... Dude, MMA Shane, nope. No.
All Shane, nope.
So here's what I think about Shane, other than nope. I think Shane McMahon would be a perfect Vince McMahon stand-in from the end of the Attitude Era, or from the Attitude Era, where he was just like going out there every week, trying to swing his dick around and then getting humiliated a whole bunch of times.
Okay.
Like, no, that's what happened every week in the Attitude Era. Like, Vince McMahon would come out with a plan to try to make someone's life miserable, and by the end of the night, like, he would be peeing his pants in the ring or whatever.
Sure.
And that's what Shane should be doing, because he's like, it's like he's still I don't find him to be a believable physical threat, but he is. I mean, like, he's not in terrible shape or anything like that. And like, if you're not asking him to work matches, like, you know, having him like try to puff his chest out and act like he's the man, he's good at that.
I mean, he's not embarrassing. He also has some athletic ability. I mean, the coast to coast is an actual athletic thing.
For his age, that's unreal.
Yeah. Sorry, I just came across a really funny video on Twitter.
What is it of?
It's there's some fat black dude who plays basketball on like he has videos of recording himself, and he's got like ridiculous gear, like too short of shorts, and like, you know, he shoots like overhead, kind of like how I used to shoot, like really poorly.
Oh, like Ray Allen?
Yeah. And like the video says Zion Williamson training with the Pelicans to get traded to another team. I'll send it to you. It's actually just, I'll tag you. It's really funny, actually.
All right, great.
But anyway, please continue. I interrupted you.
So Shane McMahon's taking on The Miz here in what has really been a long feud. We're on 6 months of this bad boy.
Really?
Yeah, started in December.
Wow, it's May. Okay. All right.
Miz is a pretty heavy favorite. I think he finally wins and puts this feud to rest.
You think it ends? Oh, it's a steel cage match. Never mind.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, this is a good ending place. Yeah, he should win this match.
I think you might even see some color from Shane.
So here's the thing. I'm trying to think of how many steel cage matches The Miz has had. The answer has to be not very many.
The answer might be 0.
I feel like he's had one against Cena.
I feel like he had one against Cena too, and Alex Riley got involved somehow.
Yeah. This was, I think, way back when The Miz was the champ.
Mm-hmm.
A-Ry. I was watching some
he
A-Ry
might have fought
promos.
Jerry Lawler in a cage.
Ooh, that's possible. Way back then.
Remember that feud? Right, but that was The Miz's between the Rumble and Mania feud when he was the champ.
Yeah, it was Lawler.
Moo.
Got to do something with him. The point is that The Miz does not do a lot of steel cage matches, but this is the best version of The Miz we've really ever seen. I think this match will be good because Shane always puts on a pretty good show.
Yep.
But The Miz is going to win.
I think so too.
Women's Money in the Bank. Here we go. Alexa Bliss. It's actually going to be Nikki Cross now. Bayley, Natalya, Naomi, Carmella, Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, and personal favorite of mine, Dana Brooke.
Dude, Dana Brooke's awesome.
She is awesome.
Did you read the thing about Dana Brooke this week?
I did not.
That she is like the hardest working person in the company and everybody knows it. Like, she's in the performance center nonstop, trying to improve, trying to get better, trying to stay in the best possible shape. She's super highly respected by the locker room because she just works so damn hard. And she keeps trying to like come up with ideas to like be able to like get a character on TV and be able to use it more. But they just keep getting shot down, and like people are like that was in the same article about Triple H being frustrated because Vince just doesn't know what to do with her. Dude, she's a very attractive blonde girl who's very athletic and is good and like has some natural charisma. You can't find a place to use her. So
Dana Brooke straight up is outrageously attractive, and fits like the Vince McMahon mold of like, for lack of a better
dream
term,
girl, like
blonde bimbo or whatever. And it's just like, but also, you know, like if I'm like comparing like Dana Brooke to Trish, right? It's just like they were both like blonde and in this really good shape and everything. But Dana Brooke is just outrageously athletic.
Yes.
You know, and like maybe not as good as a worker as Trish. I don't really know because we haven't really. Dana Brooke, I would argue, has never gotten the opportunity to work. She's had one match on a whatever you'd call a pay-per-view. It was at NXT against Asuka. It was awesome too. Yeah, it was awesome. It was Asuka's debut paper match, and Dana Brooke more than held up her end of the bargain. And then, like, the little stuff that Dana Brooke was doing with Charlotte as, like, Charlotte's protege or whatever was really fun and good. And then, you know, like, the stuff that she did with Titus Worldwide. I would argue she was still entertaining in that role. She was entertaining in that role, and she looked outrageously attractive in, like, she was the statistician. Yeah, which is amazing. Yeah, I ran the numbers and then blah, blah, blah. And again, you can't find anything for this person to do. I mean, and yet you can find something for Alexa Bliss to do on the show every week. Every week you can find something for her to do.
I find that that's like insulting to me. And it's not because, look, everyone knows I have a chip on my shoulder and I don't like Alexa Bliss, but like, come on, is there that much of a difference between her and Dana Brooke?
No, we don't even know what Dana Brooke is capable of, which is stupid.
And we do know what Alexa Bliss is capable of, winning with DDTs.
Okay, I got to give you a little thing here. When I was watching that Money in the Bank cash-in thing, the last one was Alexa Bliss's, and that was when it was Rousey versus Nia Jax.
Yes.
And Bliss won the Money in the Bank early in the night and then cashed in and then came in and just was hitting everyone with briefcases. Mm-hmm. The DDT and pin that she did to Nia Jax was so bad that, like, of all the cash-ins I'm watching, and they're all, like, exciting and fun, and the crowd was actually really amped for Alexa Bliss's, and then, like, you see she, like, hit... So Nia Jax was in the armbar by Rousey, and that's when Alexa Bliss came in. So, like, Nia Jax's arm is fucked up, sure. And then, like, Alexa Bliss is hitting her with the briefcase in the arms a bunch.
But they're terrible shots with the briefcase,
too. They're really bad shots. They're really, really bad shots. And then it's, like, DDT, and then the DDT doesn't do anything to correspond to
the arm.
And then she, like, walks over Jax and, like, yanks her arm and then hits Twisted Bliss, which also has nothing to do with the arm and also wouldn't hurt Nia Jax because she's enormous. And then that's the 1, 2, 3. And then Nia Jax immediately just gets up and is walking around selling the arm injury. And it's like, well, then why didn't you kick out? None of this makes any sense.
Well, I mean, Nia Jax is horrible. But
I mean, she's awful.
But Alexa Bliss is not great. And people will always defend Alexa Bliss because she's the internet's favorite girl. But, like, I don't know. Her being out of this match and Nikki Cross in is a monster upgrade.
Nikki Cross should just win.
Nikki Cross might win. Before Alexa went out with injury, Mandy Rose is the favorite.
Okay.
Which I totally get. And I see that because there's going to probably be Sonya Deville interference. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mandy Rose does win. I still wouldn't be surprised if Mandy Rose does win. But I would say Nikki Cross is probably the second most likely to win.
The people that are in this match, and like, I'm looking at like Bayley, who's just, floundering around doing
directionless is what I would call most of these people.
Nothing to do there. Ember Moon just on the roster. I always forget she's on the roster.
Well, she was injured for a long time.
Yeah, but like, why do we even call her up in the first place? When she wasn't injured, she wasn't doing anything. Mm-hmm. Also, is she a wolf or what is she?
Wait, that's another example of character that's like, what is this?
I mean, it didn't make sense in NXT, but we all just kind of let it slide because like we liked her. But it's like, what are you?
Yeah, but in NXT, they tell stories in the ring.
That's true. That's true. It's just like coming out with all these wolves and like these hand gestures and these different color contacts, and it's like, so what do you do? What's your deal?
What is a She-Nom?
Yeah, I don't know. What's a Glamazon? I don't know. Naomi, just what do? You have a really good entrance. You're hyper athletic. She calls out the rear view. Carmella is hanging out with R-Truth. Dana Brooke is dope, and she doesn't have anything to do. I couldn't tell you what Dana Brooke's character is. And then everyone's favorite.
We know why Natalie's here.
Yep. She'll be carrying the match. She's everyone's favorite.
She'll be holding this one together.
And I guess this Mandy Rose thing, you said she's the favorite?
Yeah, she's the favorite. Not a heavy favorite, but she is the favorite.
I guess what I would say to that is the money in the Money in the Bank briefcase does make a person like Mandy Rose, like it did for Carmella. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Mandy Rose is even in the same league as Carmella.
I don't
as
either.
Far as like promotional work goes, and maybe she can work matches, maybe she can. I don't know.
She's okay, and she's definitely like farther along than I thought she would be by now, especially because like, she was on Tough Enough, and when she was on Tough Enough, it looked like she had like no athletic ability whatsoever. And obviously like she's very, very good looking. But so are all these girls. Like, so is every woman in this match. Every woman in this match is outrageously attractive.
It's true.
So like, I don't know, like it's just kind of weird that they're going to push her, I guess, I don't know, based on her looks, because I don't really see it from the in-ring or the promo perspective quite yet. Like, Carmella does everything better, basically.
We couldn't get Sonya Deville in this match, really?
Sonya Deville is awesome.
She's really good.
Yeah, she's awesome. She gave up her spot for Mandy, though. That was the point.
Oh, okay.
So, Yeah, I would say I think Mandy's the favorite, then Bayley's the second favorite, but these haven't been updated since Nikki got put in the match. I think Nikki has a decent chance of winning and then maybe doing some sort of angle with Alexa Bliss. But I also could see just Mandy just wins or whatever and eventually like does her cash in on Becky probably.
Okay. We got a men's Money in the Bank here. We got Finn, who's already a champion, so he's not winning. Sami Zayn never wins. Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, Ricochet, Randy Orton, Andrade, and Ali, which is the dumbest name in wrestling. Apparently they're very high on Andrade, but I guess what I read or someone sent me is like everyone is saying like Andrade should get a push. He's super skilled and super talented, which is all true. And they have hired an English tutor so he can cut better promos, which, all right, I'm in favor of that, even though he does have a manager who can cut the promos for him.
And she's a good promo.
But if your thought process is, well, look, you got to be able to talk like a little bit, man. It's like, okay, fine. That's totally fine. But yeah, I mean, he's super skilled and talented, and it's stupid that they haven't done anything with him. But this is so reminiscent to the thing that they did with him at NXT.
But he's made a wise choice, my friend.
He has. Linking up with Charlotte is a great career move.
Not a bad idea.
A great career move there for Andrade. Doesn't hurt that Charlotte is absolutely, I think she's amazingly gorgeous, but wise career move there for Andrade.
Yeah, well played, sir. Well played. I mean, it's not like Andrade. I mean, Andrade is obviously ridiculously handsome.
He's no slouch himself. So
this match basically looks to me like it's Drew McIntyre or no.
God damn you! Is he the favorite?
Yeah.
God. Okay. I didn't know who the favorite was, but I was thinking Drew McIntyre was going to win easily.
I'll tell you who's not the favorites. Randy Orton is 16-1. So is Ricochet, and Baron Corbin is also 12-1.
Baron Corbin don't need this.
Baron Corbin's not winning. He's going to get his title shot anyway because he pinned Seth last week.
Oh yeah, then that's fine. Yeah, Baron Corbin don't need this.
Finn Balor, no. Second favorite, by the way, is Mustafa Ali. I just don't see it. I'm sorry, Ali.
Thank you.
I just don't see it because I can't see him walking around with the briefcase.
Neither can I. It would just look strange, just babyface carrying this thing around.
But like Drew McIntyre, like looming with the briefcase makes way more sense.
So my prediction is Drew McIntyre is going to win this, and that baby's getting cashed in tonight.
On Seth?
Oh yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't see it.
Seth as champion blows.
I think they're just going to hold off on that because they're going to use this to build Drew McIntyre up.
Also, I can see Seth losing to AJ and then cash in, and now we've got 3 people feuding at the top.
No, Seth isn't losing to AJ. You want to go there next, though?
Yeah, we can go there next. Seth versus AJ. Yeah, because we got to save Becky 2 belts probably for the end. I got some strong thoughts on that.
The Seth AJ stuff, I was not interested at all, but then the WWE video package team did their thing and made me care about this match.
Because we went back to old footage where they wrestled.
They were wrestling in like NWA Wildside or something like that.
Yeah,
and it's like they had that. They had like a bunch of other old stuff of like Seth Rollins like beating up wrestling buddies and AJ Styles. It was very good work by them, basically.
Yeah, well, I got some bad news for you, buddy. Prepare to be disappointed.
I know, because AJ never delivers anymore.
Yep. I'm thinking of when we were like really excited for AJ versus Owens. Mm-hmm. We were just like, this is going to be so good. And all 3 matches were so mediocre to bad.
AJ Nakamura, same thing. AJ hasn't had like a blowaway match in a long time.
Yeah. Honestly, AJ came in like a house of fire. And this is a real testament to Roman Reigns. I still think AJ versus Roman was a fucking awesome feud.
Same. That feud was awesome.
And like the Usos involvement and the club's involvement. Everything
that actually made sense.
Yeah, I thought that feud was great. AJ has just been, he's had some moments here and there. I thought like the stuff with Dean and Ellsworth was really good.
Uh-huh. He's been coasting otherwise.
A little bit.
He's not I will not go so far to say he's mailing it in, but he's been coasting.
Yeah, I don't think he's mailing it either. I also think it just depends on who he's partnered up with, weirdly, because, like him and Shane had a really good match.
Mm-hmm. Him and Brock did too.
Yeah, him and Brock had a really good match too. I agree. Like his match with Daniel Bryan, not very good.
Actually, his match with Finn Balor, that one random one where like AJ was on the wrong show basically because there was like somebody got injured.
Yeah, that match was good.
That match was good on short notice. But like, I don't know. I don't know what Never Rust really means. So
it means he's working too much.
I guess I have Seth Rollins winning this one.
I think this is the match where AJ turns heel.
Okay.
I do. I just it's too much like it reminds me too much of what happened against Dean, where like he beat Dean by going low and beating him, and like he can just turn fully heel here and just go and honestly like be a great time to just dial up fucking Gallows and Anderson again.
I mean they're still under contract, right?
They ain't doing shit, and AJ is a lot of fun when he's with them.
And they did turn back to their old characters now that they switched shows,
right? Like. If those guys are just around and not working, I mean, you might as well make them work, and they are really entertaining as just random donks alongside AJ. So that's what I would do.
I could see I could see that happening, but I still think Seth is leaving with the belt, whether or not.
Give me some beat up Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Other championship match.
For the record, I want that match to be good. It probably will be good, but maybe I'm left wanting. All right, Becky 2 belts. That's our other one here.
No, we got the WWE Championship.
Kofi and KO. Okay.
All right, so I was all about KO winning this one.
Okay.
But then I read something that they're touring Ghana at the end of the month.
Well, that's that.
So we don't have to worry about that anymore. SOS.
Do you think he wins clean?
Yeah.
How good do you think Kofi is in this run right now?
I mean, great, honestly. He's been good and like he's even been really good on the mic and stuff. He's been top tier.
I think he's been good.
Yeah.
I do. I don't think he's ever had to play this level of babyface before.
Oh no. Absolutely not.
But like I think he's doing a pretty good job, and I'm really curious. Like Owens is going to have to heel it up in this match.
I mean, let's be honest. Kofi Kingston is actually a B+ player. In reality,
that's actually true.
He just is, right? Yeah. But he has risen to the occasion with this run. So more power to him.
That's actually a really good point. He is really just a B+ player. And you know what? B+ isn't bad. Fuck, the Warriors are coming back.
Yeah, I know. I saw.
God damn it! They're only down by 3.
It's because we were talking about Dana Brooke and Enos Kanter got distracted.
With good reason.
Yeah.
With good reason. I think Kofi wins.
Yeah, I do too.
All right, let's go to Becky 2 belts. You want to start with Charlotte or your favorite? I got a feeling you hate Lacey.
The sassy Southern Belle?
Yeah. I actually love Lacey Evans. I think she plays her character perfectly.
All right. So you're right. She plays her character very well. She's an abysmal human. Oh my God. She is an abysmal human being. So that's why I don't like her. It has nothing to do with her ability in the ring, which I think like she's not great, but she will be okay. The women's right is a terrible finisher. Sorry, but it is. Like
punch you.
The moonsault thing that she does is cool though.
It's not smooth enough.
No, it's not. You're right.
It might become smooth enough, and like that's a move. That's a move where if you've been wrestling for a very long time, like Owens is able to do it easily, even though he's a bazillion pounds. Right. He's been wrestling for so long, and he was doing it when he was thin, and now he's doing it when he's fat. So that's a move you just got to do a lot to be very smooth at.
Yeah, but
like think of Charlotte's moonsault off the top rope a couple of years ago,
compared to now,
like compared to what it is now, where she would land on her knees a lot of the time.
It was not good. It was very dangerous. I mean, she wasn't like it didn't look horrible, but it probably felt horrible.
Yeah, like it was just like I think she was really concerned, and now she just throws her body and does it. The Warriors are winning now, obviously. So I think that Lacey Evans is going to win.
So here's my question: do you think it's going to? So in my opinion, it's either going to be Becky 2 belts or Becky no belts. I think
it's Becky no belts.
I don't think we're going to have Becky 1 belt.
Yeah, I think it's Becky no belts.
I'm going to say Becky 2 belts sticks around because they just made shirts and stuff, and it'll be like I think there will be potential shenanigans in both matches where the other person tries to interfere and messes up, and then Becky sneaks away with both wins.
I could see a couple different things. I could see Becky beating Lacey Evans and then getting cashed in on.
Mm-hmm.
I could honestly see Charlotte just straight up beating her. That's the one I think is more likely, which is like Charlotte just straight up wins, maybe cheating, whatever, but like Charlotte just straight up wins the match.
So what I think is possible is that Becky will win both matches and successfully fend off Mandy Rose's cash-in.
Wow, you think they're gonna push her that hard?
I mean, this is a classic WWE move where they push the person 6 months too late.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's fair. I don't see it personally, but you know what?
Because that also lets you break off to the Sonya Mandy feud. Because say Sonya helps her win earlier in the night, Mandy cashes in and loses the same night, and Sonya's like, "I gave up my spot for you. I helped you win, and then you blew it, and then you cashed in and lost. If I was going to do that, I should have just kept the spot myself."
Fair.
So,
Fair.
Yeah, I think Becky 2 belts plus the Money in the Bank cash-in does not go well.
How excited are you for this pay-per-view?
I'm going to be watching Game of Thrones.
I didn't know you were watching this season of Game of Thrones. I didn't know you were a Game of Thrones watcher, but that's also because I'm not.
Huge Game of Thrones fan. This season's been horrible.
That's what I've heard, is most people believe this season's been bad. Also, how long do you think this last episode of Game of Thrones is?
I think it's an hour and 35 minutes or something.
Do you know that for sure, or are you guessing?
Yeah, I know for sure.
Okay, because I figured it was going to be longer than the standard hour or whatever.
Well, the last 3 episodes have all been an hour and 20 minutes, but I knew that going in. 4 of the 6 episodes of this season were an hour and 20 minutes or longer.
Okay.
So we're just making a movie every week now.
Pretty much, yeah. And I've heard the movie's been bad most weeks.
Yeah, it's a shame because the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones are like legitimately Pantheon television. Like up there with like Breaking Bad and some of the other really, truly great shows. Seasons 5 and 6 are both like pretty good. And like if that was like the end of your series, where like your first 4 seasons were amazing and then you like kind of wound it down with 5 and 6, that would have been it would still be one of the best 5 shows of all time. But these last 2 seasons have been so rushed and not well written that it kind of drags the show back, like from being like a top 5 show to probably more like a top 20 show.
That's brutal.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen Deadwood?
Yeah, I've seen Deadwood.
How good is it?
It's very good. It got canceled too early.
Okay.
So it gets left it doesn't get left cleanly, but they're making a movie now to, I think, clean it up a little bit.
Because Tommy's going to start watching that, and I was thinking, like, I need a show to watch now, and so I might watch that.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it's really good, so.
It's really good. Yeah, like, that was in the same era. One of the all-time best HBO shows is Carnival.
Okay.
Nobody knows that. That's Secret Gas.
Okay.
But, again, the show got canceled before they got to finish telling the story, so it kind of fucks it up. Yeah, I mean, I think you'll like Deadwood. It's not super long either.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I think that does it. My interest level. I'm going to be home on Sunday, I think.
Yeah.
You'll like this quick nonsense story. There's 2. They're called MCQs now, but there's 2 PTQs this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
There's one in Tacoma, which is about 45 minutes from where I live, and there's one in Spokane, which I thought was 3 hours from where I live, but it's 4 hours from where I live.
It's all the way across the state, right?
Correct. The Spokane one's on Sunday. The Tacoma one is on Saturday. And I had planned to go to both because I'm home this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to go with Brian Gottlieb, who you met.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And my buddy Chris Van Meter and Christian Keith, who's coming up here from Vegas.
Okay.
And that was going to be the squad, and that's a really great squad. And like starting on Monday, I was just kind of like, man, 4 hours is pretty far. Are we going to go?
That drive home is going to be...
I'm like thinking to myself, are we going to go Saturday night and get some rooms and go to sleep? Or are we going to go? Are we going to wake up at like 5 a.m. on Sunday and go? Like, what are we going to do? And I'm like thinking about this, and then Gottlieb messages me yesterday, and he's like, "Hey man, so like, if I don't go, because he was going to drive, he's like, if I don't go, is that going to be a problem?" And I'm like, no, because like I kind of don't want to go anymore, and Christian doesn't really want to go. And he's like, because like my wife wants to go to the Oregon coast and just like hang out, and I'm like, what are we even talking about? Just go do that.
Yeah, Tacoma, Washington for an MCQ, or like Spokane, Washington.
Yeah, or the Oregon coast. I'm like, dude, just go do that. Like, we're done talking about this. He's like, all right. And then I like talked to Christian yesterday, and I was like, hey, so like Brian's not going anymore, and like 4 hours is like kind of far, but like if it was 3 hours, I'd totally be down to go because 3 hours isn't that far, and I don't know why the extra hour feels like so much, but it is. And he's like, yeah, I don't really want to go. I'm like, dope. So I just don't think we're gonna go anymore.
Are you gonna go to the one on Saturday?
Yeah, for sure. for sure. But I also know that, like, if I lose in, like, the top 4 of the Saturday PTQ, I'm going to be like, fuck you. This is bullshit. I should have won this tournament. I'm going to Spokane. Fuck this. So there's a non-zero chance that I just end up there.
Oh my God. You are a lunatic.
I'm a total moron. I know myself. Like, if I go, like, 3-2 drop or something in the PTQ, it's like, whatever.
We're done here.
Yeah, whatever. But, like, if I'm, like, making a run, like, let's say I go, like, XO2 in the Swiss, and then, like, I comically destroy my opponent, and then feel like I got unlucky in the semis or something, and I'd be like, fuck this, let's go. I gotta go. If I have a story from you,
what is the format?
Standard.
Okay.
Standard PTQ. Winner take all, just like the old days.
Okay.
And, like, 23-year-old me or you would be like, 4 hours. Fuck yeah, see you there. Like, it's nothing.
But we have nothing else to do.
Yeah, of course. Like, I don't really have a lot to do, but it's
Dude.
like, you know what would be nice? Doing nothing.
Yeah, like, any excuse, though, for me, like, it doesn't have to be anything. Like, for me, it could be Sunday, like, oh, there's a WNBA game that I want to watch. Oh, all right.
Yeah, there doesn't need to be any excuse. It's just like, I don't know, I just don't have anything to do, and so I just kind of not going to do anything and go get brunch. I'd rather do that.
I want to watch 10 hours of the MRE review guy. Well, I can do that. So, I do have a YouTube recommendation of the week.
Ah, perfect. Okay, we'll end on this.
The YouTube recommendation this week is called Binging with Babish. And what this is it's a cooking channel. And the guy is like, he recreates things that were like part of like on television or in the movies. So, for example, he made like the cannoli from The Godfather, but he also made like the burger that they talk about on The Sopranos. Or
I'm seeing the Good Morning Burger.
Yeah, the Good Morning Burger. He makes the like the Rib Witch from The Simpsons. But the cool part is that when he makes it, he tries to make it as close to the original as possible, and then he makes it himself, like with a better version, like a version. He's a chef.
Okay.
So like he'll create he'll make the version that they tried to make on the show, like on the show or in the movie, and then he'll like make his own version of it, and it's usually like amazing.
This dude has 4 million YouTube subscribers.
He sure does.
The world is a interesting place,
and I recommend Binging with Babish.
This show's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
The episodes aren't that long.
No, they're like 5 to 10 minutes usually.
This guy's probably gas. Actually, I'm in on this.
Like
guy.
He makes Bubba Gump shrimp.
Yeah, I saw that, and now I'm seeing Basics with Babish, pulled pork.
I don't know what that is.
He's just giving away all the recipes and everything. Yeah, this video has 671,000 views. Sure, it does.
Which one?
It's like I went to his. I clicked on the videos tab. And the first one was Basics with Babish, pulled pork. Mm-hmm. And then there's a Good Morning Burger. This is from The Simpsons, apparently.
Do you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I've seen a few episodes, but I don't watch it regularly.
There's a sandwich called the Sloppy Jessica.
Okay.
Or like the shawarma from the Avengers.
Yep.
Or like I'm trying to think if there was some other good ones.
The Swanson from Parks and Rec.
Oh yeah, the Swanson from Parks and Rec.
Yep. This actually this is really smart. This is a really good concept.
Yeah, it's a great concept.
Good for this guy.
Michael Scott's pretzel from The Office.
Hopefully he has Michael Scott's grilled foot from The Office.
Oh, we can only hope on the Foreman grill.
All right, I know you got to go to sleep. We're all done. Hopefully you enjoy Money in the Bank. We'll do a review next week.
Sounds good.
You got your YouTube video of the week as well. So we're all done. Peace out, bitches.
Bye.
And with that disjointed, all over the place, multiple stop and start podcast is done. Sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes you gotta do a stream real quick. Sometimes Joe has someone show up at his house unexpectedly. But again, life is just a thing that happens sometimes. Hopefully, life is good on Sunday for everyone that is performing at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Look, Money in the Bank is always a really cool match, and I think the match will be good, both of them, honestly. But I hope the rest of the pay-per-view is good as well. I hope that we see some fun stuff between Kofi and KO, with Becky 2 belts, and everything else that's kind of going on at this show. And please, AJ and Seth, do not disappoint. Everyone wants that match to be good, so hopefully it is good. You can find this podcast, of course, over on Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, the podcast app, Patreon, and probably some other places I'm not thinking of because I'm recording this on my break from work. Rate, review, subscribe, give me feedback. Hopefully you enjoy what you're listening to. We'll be back next week, obviously, for an Extreme Rules review, and I'm sure more nonsense as well, like if I actually ended up in Spokane or not. We'll never know. JV takes us away. You guys have a great weekend. Be excellent to one another.